Bucket Podcast with your hosts, Krystle Matar and Michael R Fletcher. Now sit back and prepare to be entertained.
Greetings and welcome back to the Dripping Bucket Podcast, where we talk about, things and stuff. We haven't recorded an episode for a while because Krystle had fucked off, left the country, she abandoned me.
I fled. I fled to the land of alcohol and more alcohol.
WorldCon, that's the one that was, right?
Yeah, that. Right, WorldCon. WorldCon in Glasgow.
Yep. So we thought we're gonna talk about our con experiences here a little bit.
Yeah.
And Krystle suggested we start off with my one and only convention experience. Just to sort of get things rolling, and then we'll throw it over to Krystle and she will tell us about
because people I understand why you're hesitant to go after the experience that you had. But at the same time, once you know people, that will not be your experience.
Yeah, I suspect it'd be very different this time.
Yeah. So when we met in Brampton, before we flew out, you told me your story of your first and only thus far. So I'll let you tell it again instead of telling it for you.
That would be better if you tell it. You can just make shit up. Yeah. All right. So in the long ago times, in the before times,
long ago,
a young author, an impressionable young man, back in 2015, Beyond Redemption was released by Harper Voyager. That was sort of my debut fantasy novel. And they got me a spot on a panel at NYCC 2015. 2015, yeah.
That sounds
New
right.
York Comic Con.
Yeah, that must have been really big too.
It was freaking huge.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, of course I'm going to go. Because at this point, I still thought I was going to be a writer. So
what
like
are you now, if not?
Anything that like might sell books, and I was just like, I was all in. So I packed up my bags and I flew to New York City. Got a hotel, one of those like little, I don't know what to call them, coffin hotels, where it's basically like a tiny little room with a bed on it, in it, and like a sink and a bathroom kind of thing. Like that's very, very small, tiny. And a friend flew down with me, and we went to the Comic-Con. I don't have the words for how big and how populated it is.
Yeah.
It's many football fields crammed full of people in costumes and trying to sell stuff. And I mean, the base noise level is...
And it's a big fan expo too. Like, I think that's the difference between WorldCon and something like that.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, all the TV shows, movies, artists, like it's comic books, fantasy books, science fiction. It's kind of everything. I am massively introverted, though not.
You don't say. I haven't noticed
shy,
that about
but
you yet.
Extremely introverted. So actually, the panel where I was talking about the panel was heavy metal and fantasy, and the links between the two. Which is, I mean, if I'm not right for a panel, that's it. So the panel was fine. Like, I am totally comfortable getting up on stage in front of hundreds or even thousands of people. It doesn't bother me in the least. And talking and asking questions and answering questions, all that. Great. No problem.
Yeah. Because it's like, I have a job to do. I'm going to go do my job.
Yeah. I'm focused.
That makes sense.
I mean, how often do you get to be the center of attention? So I'm fine with that. My little, imposter syndrome is quieted briefly. But however, wandering the halls of what the hell is that convention center called in New York? The huge one.
Oh, I don't even know.
Javits,
whatever
Javits
it is.
Center, I think it is. Maybe. Anyway, it's freaking huge.
It's New York. It's huge.
It's huge. So yeah, the convention, just the sheer number of people broke me after a while. And another friend.
Now, define a while, like an hour or two?
No, I think I made it 3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours, okay.
Yeah. And another friend I know who lives in upstate New York had driven down, and he met us there. So the three of us went back to my little coffin hotel room, and we absolutely demolished a large bottle of Jameson. And of course, there's no furniture, so the three of us are just sitting on this like rock hard low pile carpet floor. With a little
crammed between
cup.
The spaces of the bed and the wall. Yeah.
Passing the bottle around, into our little pouring into our little
man.
Those plastic cups you get in the disposable ones in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
But I'd flown down for the I had 2 nights, so 3 days basically at the convention. I think the second day I managed to last an hour before we were
and then you're
back at the hotel killing another bottle of Jameson.
Oh man!
All in, hotel, flight, and everything. I think I spent over $3,000. On
Oh yeah, that's a lot. Like 10 years ago, that inflation has done things. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So since then, I have not really felt like going to another convention. And it's not like it was terrible. It was exhausting in a like I need to sit in a quiet room for a long time now kind of way.
I feel like in your defense, if I had gone to a convention without knowing anybody there, I would have come away with the same impression of like, this is too many people. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. I hate everything. Please
I probably
bring me
should
home.
have mentioned that. Like I didn't know anyone. I'd never met anyone in the, in the community. I had really no contact. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd only just created like a Twitter account. And my agent at the time said, "Oh, just go hang out with all the other writers." And I'm like,
"How do you meet other writers?
With other writers, they're gods.
They're famous.
I'm just some fucking schmuck. Like you can't just do that." So it was it was fun and it was hell.
Yeah, and like I feel like I would have come away with the exact same impression. Like I am slightly more extroverted than you, rumor has it. But not knowing anybody there, I think that would have thrown me off too. And I would not have enjoyed that experience. So I understand why you hated that, but I'm telling you, WorldCon is a completely different experience, especially if you know everybody as we do. So I'll start off by saying we probably had about the same alcohol consumption levels in both of our experiences. But mine started on Wednesday and went to Monday. Yes, Monday. On Tuesday, on Tuesday I had beer at an airport. So that anyway, the whole time it was bad. It was painful, but I managed to not embarrass myself. I'm pretty sure, which was the thing I was most worried about. Was like I'm gonna go get drunk and say something really stupid and get blacklisted by the industry. But it turns out actually authors are really nice and cool to hang out with, and a few people that for some reason I thought were more established than I am, and therefore wouldn't be interested in meeting me, were like messaging me like, "Hey, where are you? We got to find each other." So that part was easily the best part of just, people like Bengali. I met Rob, I met Dirk. Dirk sat in Kareem's lap for a picture. I think that's floating around online.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a very small human being, like in person. Like I'm not tall, like I'm high average, I guess, but Dirk is like quite a bit shorter than me, and then my husband is over 6 feet, so he's just like, I'm gonna sit in this guy's lap so I can fit into the picture. So that's floating around on Facebook and Twitter. I had exactly the opposite experience that you did. Pretty much, it boils down to I thought I was going to go to panels. I even picked a couple that I was really interested in seeing. Like there was Grimdark and Humor. that I wanted to see. I don't even remember them anymore because I didn't make it to any of them. I tried to get into 2 panels, but they were so full that they wouldn't let us in the wings. So it was like, I give up. I'm just going to go hang out with people. And it was just a blur of hanging out with people and drinking a lot and hanging out with some more people and drinking some more. And I was going to record some footage while I was there. And I was thinking, like, we're going to be here Wednesday to Tuesday. There's going to be plenty of time. And then on Thursday night, Christian Cameron / Miles Cameron had his 50th book launch. So he's now published 50 books, which is, yeah. And he's a deeply interesting person, so I'm not at all surprised that he has the fuel for 50 books. So he threw a party at a local bar, and the bar was like a little postage stamp of a hole in the wall type place. They had over 1,000 whiskeys. I think my husband managed to get them all in a photo by taking like a panoramic shot of the back of the bar, which was really cool.
You were going to say he managed to try them all.
That's what I would. No, we didn't drink it.
I would have been like, I'm starting at the left. I'm going to work my way over to the right. Let's see how far.
I would love to go back and just like pick a bar stool and stay there for like a week or 2 and do exactly that. But unfortunately, I can't afford to just disappear and stay in Glasgow and or Dublin for weeks on end. But this poor little postage stamp of a place was not big enough for us. I think possibly Christian underestimated how many people would come to his party. And so, like, it was packed. It was like wall-to-wall people. Mark Lawrence shook my hand while I was there.
You haven't washed that hand since, have you?
Well, he said something nice to me and that threw me off so bad. I was like, actually, could you shake my husband's hand? Because he really likes your books so that I can run away. I am not good at taking compliments. That is what I learned. Compliments to my face are even worse. And there were so many people there and it was so loud that I was shouting the whole time. And at about, 11 o'clock that night, the first night, I lost my voice. I was trying to tell Ben Galley's partner about the pigs that I used to have, because I guess they're interested in getting pigs, as you do, I guess. I don't know. I was telling them about how awesome.
Who doesn't have pigs?
Yeah, right. If you're going to be a quirky author, you might as well have pigs. And I was telling them how great of an experience that was, and it was like the one thing that I miss about being rural. And then my voice just stopped, and it was just like, oh fuck, what am I going to do for a whole convention? So for the rest of the convention, I was going around going, nice to meet you.
Oh, and I missed quiet Krystle.
Yeah. I wasn't quiet. If I was an intelligent person, I would have stopped talking, but did I let that stop me? Absolutely not. And my voice did not recover for the whole experience. But I still managed to introduce myself to like Travis Baldry, who recognized me, which was really weird. And so the moral of the story that I have is that you need to go to conventions now that you know people. I should have grabbed your book. Actually, I am going to go grab your book. Because you sent this thing with you. You sent this thing with me so that I could get Dirk specifically to sign it. But I got everybody to sign it.
This is a story of nice people fucking up a brilliant plan.
That too.
You
can tell the story?
Yeah, sure. I sent the book with Krystle, and I asked her to get just the writers we know to sign it. And what I'd imagined would happen would be like a pile of people would just like sign it, put their fucking signatures on the book, and that'd be it. Because I didn't really think this through at all. And the goal was this book would come back, and this was the first book I ever wrote. And what I do is I'd do a giveaway for the Dripping Bucket. with this, tattered, traveled copy of this book, which had been signed by basically everyone we know and anyone Krystle can corner.
I got. So at that bar, there was a couple there from Florida trying to have a vacation, and they kept spotting, because some of us were still wearing our ID tags from WorldCon, and she kept pointing at tags, like trying to figure out why there were so many of us there. And she cornered me specifically, like, "Are you important? Are you a reporter or something?" And I'm like,
yes.
"No, I'm just a writer. We're just a swarm of locust writers descending on this beautiful place." Anyway, I got her to sign your book too. She left a really lovely note for you.
Yeah. And so people actually left personal notes.
Yeah.
Instead of just signing their names. And now I can't give the book away because it's way too awesome to just give some schlub in a giveaway. So fuck y'all, true. I'm keeping it.
So we have a pretty cool one was Anna Smith Sparks. Let's see if I can get that. Anna Smith Sparks signed it, and also amended your also buy page, where she added "In the Shadow of Her Dying" with her. A couple of people signed it with your last name. So there's Rob J's Fletcher. There's Fletcher Eames, which was Nick Eames, who was sharing an Airbnb with us, which was pretty fucking cool. Which also, by the way, my whole point was writers are just people. And it was really cool just to go hang out with friends. So here's Goats of Tomorrow, but Alicia Wanstall-Burke added Legacy of Goats of Tomorrow. This is the vacationing couple. No, the light's too bright. Let's see. There we go. The vacationing couple said that you're lovely. I didn't tell her anything about you, so she doesn't know you're an asshole. Somebody signed it to me. That's okay.
Yep,
why not?
Still awesome.
And I got Joe Abercrombie for you. So, sorry, folks, you can't have this book. I'm sending it back to Fletcher.
Yeah, and you showed me. I saw a picture earlier. What was it? Ed Wilson, literary.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shauna Wallace's agent. Yeah, I asked him to sign it, and he said, "Where would you like me to sign it?" And I say, "You're an agent. You can do whatever you want." And so we cut your chapter. That chapter's now official.
I'm like, yeah, that probably really could go. And, it's funny. I've submitted books to him before, and he's ignored me.
Well, there you go. You've got his attention now. He cut your chapter and signed it. That counts as a contract, right?
It's close enough.
So yeah, it was really cool. It was I highly recommend that you come to Seattle.
Is there one moment that kind of stands out for you as memorable? Like it's something that clicked?
What took me by surprise the most, everyone was really lovely, and like I could just sit here and list all of the people that I met that were amazing, and basically everyone was there. It was amazing.
Which one was the asshole? Who was the asshole? Come on.
Ryan Cale. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. I love you, Ryan. But the folks that do the Broken Binding were there. And so on my way from London to Glasgow, myself and my husband and Taylor from Mid Between the Pages and Adrian Gibson were road tripping together. We stopped in Birmingham because Stephen Arion lives in Birmingham, or close to, and that's also where the Broken Binding is based. And I guess Stephen's partner works for the Broken Binding behind the scenes. So Matt and Jack and then Stephen's partner and one of their newest employees came out to dinner with us, and Matt is amazing, actually. Like I think because it's such a large company, it's probably easy to forget that there's people behind behind that, and they're just doing something that kind of grew, and they're doing their best to keep up, and they're doing a great job. And he's so incredibly generous and kind and funny and deeply funny. And like, for example, on the last night, Monday night, so the broken binding table at the convention became like a hangout spot, and it was also a really easy spot to be like, hey, I'm here, I'm at the broken binding table, come find me. So it was like it became a magnet for all of us miscreants who probably prevented them from making sales because we were all in the way. And somehow in the shuffling, one of their bags ended up in our possession, because a lot of, like, they were giving away like cloth tote bags, and they had put all of the book plates that every author had signed into one of their tote bags. And I'm thinking somebody at the Airbnb put their bag beside the broken binding bag and just grabbed both and walked away. And so it ended up at our Airbnb. So we're desperately calling Matt, like, hey, we have your book plates. Where are you? And he was like, oh, well, I'm only 10 minutes away from your place. Why don't you come and bring them, and I'll buy you a beer for your trouble. And Monday night, it was just me and Adrian and Matt and Charlie and Jack, and they they bought us a couple of bottles of wine, and we were just sitting in the lobby at their hotel, just kind of chatting about life and stuff. And it was just like, it was such an incredible moment of just, this person is so generous, and we love to see somebody as kind as he is just succeeding. Like, I don't know, man. Something about him specifically really touched me, where he didn't have to do this. It kind of started by accident, and now he's out on the limb for indies a lot, doing all of these special editions and like just hustling to make us money. And it's amazing. He's amazing. I'm forever kind of a stan. I'm a incoherent fan of Matt. He was just so nice, and he looked so tired, but there he was at the table with us at I think it was 2:00 in the morning, with the big bag of book plates that did not belong to us, and a couple of bottles of wine. It was just like, we're all just, and I think that moment really encapsulated kind of the passion that I have for the community, where we're all on the same team and we're all really rooting for each other. And sure, there's outliers, there's assholes, like there's always assholes in every community, but generally there's just so much passion and also respect among the various industries, or not the industries, but like the ecosystem, the artists, the booksellers, the writers. And we all just came to this because we needed something. And what we got out of deciding to write or deciding to draw or deciding to sell books becomes this community of people that have our backs. And that was really it was really profound for me, especially because writing saved me as a teenager. I think I would have been a different person, possibly a person that's not even here, were it not for writing.
I was going to say possibly a sane person with a proper job and
no,
career.
Oh no, I was not on a proper job road. Okay.
I was going to be a
so
ninja.
Yeah,
fuck that up.
Yeah, way to go, Fletcher. Yeah, so we're all just kind of in it together, and that was really cool to see happen in person. It's I think it's easy to forget when we're all separated by distance, and we're all just little screens in each other's pockets. but we are definitely rooting for each other.
So next year, WorldCon is in Seattle.
Seattle.
It's a pain in the ass because it's not Brampton. So that is.
Yeah, we need some Canadian cities to
right.
bid
like,
for it.
Even Toronto, I'd be willing. Toronto, Hamilton.
Yeah, even Toronto, a whole hour away from where you are.
Yeah, I don't want to go there, but I will if I have to. Brampton would be nice. Like maybe just
Brampton,
a few streets down. That'd be lovely. I might make.
Do they have an event center in Brampton? You should do it. You should make it happen. You should find the Brampton Event Center and start campaigning for WorldCon Brampton 2020. I don't know. I don't know what other years are spoken for, but
So Seattle. Right, so you think you're going to go?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm already going. I was kind of treating Glasgow as like a once in a lifetime thing, because I'm not the one paying for the trip. My husband is. And so I was like, oh, thanks. That's really good. Maybe in a few years we'll be able to do that again. He's like, no, you're going to Seattle. It's fine. I'm going to make it happen. So yeah. Marry somebody who likes spending money on you is the other lesson that I learned on this trip. Thank you, great.
Good advice for any writer.
Yeah, because we don't make money, so marry somebody that does make money.
Yeah.
So you're going to, by the way, and I'm going to try to drag Clayton out of his snow hut in North Dakota.
Closer for him, it's got to be.
Yeah, but he's not as close to a big airport, so it might be actually harder. I don't know how.
Take his sled dogs to the airport and then fly from there.
Yeah. Sounds
good.
good.
I'll look into flights. I wonder how long it'll take to drive. Probably no cheaper.
Yeah, it's probably no cheaper. Especially since you're so close to the Toronto airport. Like that is kind of the good one for Canadians, which is pretty bleak. Man, the airport differences were interesting. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. I know like Clayton was talking about getting a table, but I'm not interested in being tied to a table because mostly the experience is just finding people, and it's like it seems like at any given moment you could be pulled into a meal or drinks or something with people that you thought were out of your league, but here they are wanting to have drinks with you. So I wouldn't.
I can't imagine selling enough books to probably pay for the table, never mind like the flight and all that stuff. So to me, it's like right away, it's not really a business trip. It's not a profitable business trip. It's fun.
I think they're worth it if you're able to go to conventions near you, so you're not having to pay for accommodations and stuff. And it's just like, this happens near my house every year. I'll go sell books there. But for the traveling, like I don't know, man. Because Virginia was saying usually she does get a table, but that's usually because she's doing ones close to her house. And she didn't actually know what going to a convention was like, except for being in the dealer's room, because you're chained to that table the whole time it's open and before and after. And then, unless you have marathon stamina, by the time you're done for the day, you're probably too tired to go hang out with people. And
an hour in the dealer's room, I'd be cut.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a weird vibe. Like maybe it's specifically the convention center we had, but like there's no windows, so it's like very casino esque, where it's like you don't know what time it is. You have no way to tell how long you've been there. So it's just like this alternate dimension, and then every now and then you walk outside and go, oh look, it's still daytime, or oh look, it's almost dark. So I wouldn't do that for a day. I think I would probably go more insane than I am, in a bad way instead of in a good way.
Yes, non-useful craziness.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like throwing books at people, like, please bring me a beer.
Alrighty, we are hitting the half-hour mark. What do you think? Is this a good spot to wrap this
I guess
one?
So.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add to that? So berating me to go to Seattle?
Yeah, you got to go to Seattle, man. Like it is the absolute opposite of what you experienced, because we actually know people and people were asking about you. Like, where's Fletcher?
That's just weird.
Yeah. People wanted to see you. People like you.
That's crazy.
They've heard some rumor that you're a nice guy, and I swear to God, it wasn't me who told them. I promise it wasn't me. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to add is just thank you to everybody who was there, who was so awesome. Because you guys rock.
And on that note,
thanks
again for joining us.
Fade out.
It's all the shit you're supposed to say at the end of a podcast.
Yeah, so we have the Patreon that you could click on if you want to give us money for really unprofessional behavior. We have I think I'm gonna try to start a Twitter for the podcast, but Twitter's kind of dying, so I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe then I'll actually remember to post links for the episodes that we do.
We should probably maybe share the password for it, and we can both post on there, and kind of
there you go,
share the load. Anyway,
let
us know what you think in the comments, and we probably won't read them. So do you read comments?
Sometimes we both read sometimes we both read them at about the same time and post like totally opposite comments.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I hope that's an enjoyable experience for people. And I'm gonna bet any amount of money that they can tell which of us is which, because I think I use slightly more exclamation marks than you do.
Alrighty. On that note, goodbye.
Yeah, we're out.
Thank you for joining us.